What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about SwiftCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? SwiftCoin is up at about 1.6 cents now. Onyx Coin at 1.8 cents. You're hot on the trail of Onyx Coin to get to this 20-cent endeavor, right? We've still got this race going on. Who's going to hit 20 cents first, SwiftCoin or Onyx Coin? It's pretty damn neck and neck right now, but Onyx Coin does have the lead for the time being. SwiftCoin looking to take the lead here, maybe with this move. We'll see how it goes. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, very, very bullish 1 hour time frame. You can see that RSI is immaculate, man. 91 read. I very much doubt that it stops here. I wonder if we can find something that got to this level before. Look at this. Look at this. You see that? Is that reminiscent? Does that remind you of anything? We haven't seen a reading really like that since then, right? Something that's up this high. And now if we look at the price in correspondence to that, we zoom it in here. Let me just get it. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. This one. There we go. Oh, come on. I don't know. Let's try and get it like this. I wish that it just knew what I wanted to do whenever I clicked automatic, but not always. Sometimes it comes in clutch, but most of the time it doesn't. Here, you can see that you hit the 90 right there, and you pulled back dramatically from a high to a low. I mean, you pulled back 16% in 1 whole hour, 2 whole hours. I thought it was more dramatic than that. 16% is a lot. Nobody wants to sit through a 16% loss, but I think if it's in the wake of more growth to come, that's okay. And that's exactly what I'm anticipating here. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to is the fact that once you saw this 90 read in your RSI, you topped off there, right there in the price. That was only the beginning of things to come. We're on the 1 hour time frame. That was only the beginning of an overall move that took from the low to the high, that took you up 161%, right? That was just the beginning. We've only recently just begun. We've only just begun to pump. We're at 1.6 cents, so we're going to pump a lot, guys. We're going to pump a lot more from here. It doesn't stop here. If we look at this on a 4 hour time frame, just because you're overbought, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, just because you're overbought doesn't mean it's time to dump. That's not how it works, okay? A lot of people think that, assume that, and that's not how it works. It wouldn't surprise me if we move down a little bit from here. It wouldn't surprise me if we correct a little bit. I mean, from a high to where we are already, you've moved down, what, 6%? Yeah, 6% already. Maybe you drop 16% like you did the other one. Maybe you drop all the way back below where this pump started, all the way down to 1.4 cents. I doubt it. You're probably going to have a more tame drop, something that's around like 1.5 cents at these prior areas of resistance here, if not a little bit higher, maybe down just a little bit lower to like 1.58 cents, which you're basically there now. So it's probably not going to drop too much more. I think you've already had a good bit of this drop happen. We're looking at this 4 hour time frame. You're also pretty overbought in the RSI. Cool off a little bit. That's okay to cool off a little bit, but you're at these areas of resistance. My expectation would be here, the first time that you found resistance at the top end of this consolidation phase, you rejected. The second time, you rejected. My expectation on the third attempt is that you will not reject, rather consolidate. So here we are. It's nice. Shout out to the Swifties out there. SwiftCoin's up 12% today. It's nice. I wouldn't hold my breath over anything too spectacular between now and the end of the day or tomorrow even. But over the coming days, over the coming weeks, I think you've got a lot of spectacular growth to go. I think that you're in a bullish formation here. I don't know. Is this a bull flag? It kind of looks like a bull flag to me, man. That looks like a bull flag to me. If it is a bull flag from a low to a high, and I'm not an expert in everything that is bull flags, but if it is a bull flag, the expectation would be that you go all the way up to about 3.3 cents. And the thing is with bull flags, these measure moves are just ideas. Maybe you hit that idea perfectly and then you continue to grow. Maybe you fall short of that idea, you stop below it, you correct, and then you move up past it anyways. Maybe you don't stop anywhere near it and you just blow right through it. You know what I mean? It's just an idea. It doesn't mean that it has to stop there, but this idea takes you up to about 3.2 cents. You're barely at like 1.6 cents now. So a lot of growth to go. A lot of growth to go for this thing. What was the thing that I was going to talk about just now? Oh, yes. On a 4 hour basis, I'm expecting that here, instead of rejecting, you're going to be moving sideways and consolidating. You're going to show on the charts that you're ready to move up higher, but you're not just going to move up higher. Sometimes that happens, but it's very rare that you just move up in a straight line. Oftentimes, whenever you get these overbought readings, you have to cool off. And the best way to cool off without rejecting all the way back down here, the best way to do that is to just kind of move sideways. Get some 4 hours to close red, some to close green, but not too green, right? Some wicks to the upside, closing bodies to the downside, whatever. Closing like this. Get your RSI to cool off. And once that's happened, then you'll be ready to break out. And I would assume that, being on a 4-hour basis, we're not talking a whole lot of time. It's the 9th now. I would think by the 11th, if not the 12th at the latest, you'll be moving up. But I would expect, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I would expect that SwiftCoin probably is just moving sideways for a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time, right? Similar to this maybe, right? Where we're here, when you pumped up, you consolidated for just 2 candles. Just 2, that was 8 hours there. And then on the 12th hour, you moved up. Your RSI cooled off out of the overbought zone, and then you continued to rip, right? I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like that, but that's all we need. Just, cool off a little bit. That's all. That's okay. It's fine to cool off a little bit. You're at areas in the RSI that you found resistance a couple of times on your 4-hour, right? If we go here, we go back in time. Let's just see how this looks so far. Yeah, you find resistance at this area a good bit of the time. If not, you go a little bit higher. It is possible, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, it is possible that this move doesn't stop here right now, that you don't just start moving sideways, consolidating right here, right now. Maybe you continue to run up a little bit more and then you move sideways. Maybe something like that happens. But whether it's here that you're going to consolidate moving sideways, whether you do move up just a little bit more, I'm not saying that you can't move up by the end of the day. I'm just saying don't get too excited for anything miraculous, right? You're at 1.6 cents now. Maybe move up to 1.8 cents, 1.7 cents by the end of today or sometime tomorrow. But I think overall, you can expect to consolidate for at least a day to 3 days, something like that. Cool off this 4-hour RSI and then begin to run. It might not even be a full day. I mean, you saw that last one. It was only 8 hours. But I think you are getting ready to run. I think you will be pumping really high. And beyond 3.2 cents, I think you will see higher prices. If we look at the relative high here to the relative low, the relative high on February 1st to the relative low here on April 7th, you are consolidating well below your, or around your 382, below your 0.5 here, but you've interacted with it. My expectation is anytime you interact with the golden ratio on the first attempt, we expect that you find resistance here. But whenever you see consolidation like this, I don't think so. I think you're going to bypass and go to your 786, 886 zone, and that's perfect because that actually does line up very well with that 3.2 cent target up there, showing that not only can you stop maybe just right there, right at that area, but you could also go a little bit above it, right? Something between about 3.8 cents to 3.2 cents is what I would expect on this next endeavor over the coming days. Maybe I should say over the coming week and a half, something like that. In a very, very short amount of time, I think SwiftCoin's going to make a massive move. And the thing is, this is the measure move, and this is what makes sense on the fibs. But what if SwiftCoin does something that doesn't make sense? What if it just gets erratic and explosive and we see something crazy? The next target to consider, once you break above about 3.8 cents, and the only reason we're talking about this is because you never know when things can happen, right? You never know when you can just go on a straight terror of a run. If you get a day, when you get a day to close above 3.82, let's say 3.82 cents. If you can't, if it's 3.81, but I'm going to say 3.82. If you can't close above there, that's a problem. I don't know why that'd be a problem, but close above 3.82 cents. And that'll validate the notion that you're going to your 7.7 cent zone rather immediately, right? If we see this move within the next 2 weeks and you close a day up here, I would start to think that over the coming days after that, we would start to see prices up at 7.7 cents. We'd move at a very fast pace, okay? I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. My expectation is we move up, we consolidate a little bit, we pull back, we find support, whatever, and then we move up to this area later. That's kind of my expectation, is that we move up something like this. End of month, we might be reaching for this target, right? But I'm just saying that just in case SwiftCoin does get erratic, if we close above 3.82 cents, that's when it's time to get excited for 7.7 cents to maybe even 14.6 cents. Inevitably, SwiftCoin, you will make it to this area. You will be here. I think you will interact with the zone, if not look like you're interacting with the zone or approaching it by the end of this month of May, and probably the lower end of this zone. And then by the end of June, or as June progresses, you'll be breaking through this area, continuing higher, and ultimately I think that your target zone that you're going to is about 24 cents to 29.5 cents here, something like that. That's where I think you're ultimately going to go. If we look at the current price right now at about 1.6 cents, that's about a 15x to an 18x move. That's a lot of growth, and the thing is, I could be wrong. Maybe we stop at the 1618, we stop at about 15 cents there, and it's only a 9x. Boo-hoo. I could be wrong. Maybe it goes beyond what I'm expecting, and we go, oftentimes with the 2272, you go just above there. Maybe we stop at 54 cents and you get a 34x. That's great. You know what I mean? But something in between these areas is what I think the most likely outcome would be, and right in between there's the 1886 to 200 area. So something on the lines of, I think, 24 cents to 30 cents is what I would expect by the end of this endeavor. It's very exciting. It's always exciting. Anytime that you get a move up, you're up 13% today. And again, you very well could close the day even above your current high, which is at 1.7 cents. But what I'm expecting, at least over the next day to 3 days, I don't know if it'll be as long as 3 days, but I would expect it to be probably about a day, if not at least like half a day. But I would expect that there's a little bit of consolidation, no excitement right now, and then we'll start moving up, maybe over the weekend. Oh, and it is the weekend, huh? It is Friday. That adds to the idea that we just move sideways, doesn't it? So maybe we do move sideways Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday we start to kick off. I don't know. Sunday we could kick off too. Sundays are sometimes really big days, so I stand with that. I don't think if you move up above this high, I don't think it'll be too much higher. And regardless if it's here, regardless if it's there, at some point here pretty damn soon, you're going to just start consolidating, moving sideways. I don't think, and I think the reason why I'm calling for this is because I do expect you to break out higher. So to break out higher, you're going to have to show signals in the chart that you're ready to break out higher. Here, when you moved up to this zone, you rejected. You weren't ready to go higher. Here, when you moved up to this zone, you rejected. Here, if we're ready to break out higher, move higher, and I think we are, show it. Do different behavior. Different behavior will beget different results. At least I would assume so. That's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Good job, SwiftCoin. It's nice to see a pump, a good pump with some solid volume coming in. More volume than we've seen, at least in a little bit of time here. Let's see. So far, 7 hours left in the day. This is the most volume we've seen since April 27th. And likely you'll compare, but by the end of this day, 7 hours from now, you'll probably compare to this levels of volume even more. If not, see something higher. Certainly, this is some of the highest volume on a daily basis we've seen since, like over the past month. So that's very exciting. What's SwiftCoin at right now? Swift market cap wise and volume wise, yeah, 159. It's not the craziest volume, but that's desirable volume. That's fine. $160 million. You've got a lot of potential in this thing, man. This thing is definitely 100x potential, capable, multi-100x capable, and certainly it's capable of seeing a 14x or more by the end of this endeavor, by the end of June or early July. But I got nothing else for you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Expect a little bit of chop over the coming day or days, and we'll get moving up next week. That's the expectation. Okay, ta-ta, bye-bye. See you on the next one.